Now, coming back to the subject today, it's about education. Education is the backbone of every country. You know, when the British wanted to come here, what they planned in the first place is to break the Indian education system, which is our backbone. The Indian education system completely disappeared after that. And they succeeded in their efforts to bring what is called the 18th century English education here. And today, the sophisticated parents, they want to send their children to English education. You know what that 18th century English education is? It came when Britain was having industries coming up. So they wanted some robots who can't think, who should not ask questions, but simply follow what is told. That is the education that we have. That's why Alexis Carrel, a Nobel laureate, once said, every newborn child is a genius, only to be converted into an idiot in school. And I agree with him totally about the Western education, because they make you a robo in the school. See, if you go to school, everybody must be alike. So they try to sort of make you a robo. A for apple. Everybody should say the apple. Supposing you ask a child A for, he will probably say so many things. But it stopped. He should from then on think of only apple, apple, apple. That's called education. No, that's not education. That is just literacy. Most of us are literate, but not educated. And education is to make a human being out of a man or a woman out of a human being. And that is training the mind. Where is the mind? Where is the mind? Here we have a president who is now the head of the mind business. Mind is not in the brain as we in the medical science used to think. Mind is your consciousness. Mind is everywhere. Mind is universal and you are a part of that, your individual consciousness. And this mind is the consciousness of man, and that has to be developed. So I always say education must not just be for a wealthy career. Today, you know, I was lecturing in a IIT. I won't tell you which IIT is, one of the IITs. And the director told me, sir, ours is the best IIT in India. I said, on what criterion? He says, our last year's graduates got jobs abroad for 6 to 7 crores a year. I said, if that is your criterion, I am afraid I don't respect your IIT. How many good human beings have you produced? You know, have you heard of a man called Manjunath, an IIT graduate, who did not want to go to America but wanted to join here? So he joined the oil company here, Indian Oil Company, and found out that a lot of adulteration was going on. So he went to inspect every bunk and found out a lot of adulteration going on in their bunk, and he was shot dead there. This is the kind of people we want. So what we should do in education is to develop the mind, not just a wealthy career. But today our aim is only to make a career. You ask a parent when the child is going to school, what do you want? I want him to be a doctor. I want him to be an engineer. To earn money, get a big position in society. But nobody says, I want him to be a human being. So my aim of education should be in the future to make a healthy mind. What is a healthy mind? A healthy mind is a mind filled with enthusiasm to work. How many of us really have enthusiasm to work? Tell me. I don't think even 1% of Indians have enthusiasm to work. What is enthusiasm to work? You must have that provocation to work. Enthusiasm is a very nice word in Latin. En means inside. Theos is God. So God sits inside and provokes you. Prachodayat, that's what the young lady so beautifully sang. Prachodayat, we get up in the morning and say, Prachodayat, give me provocation to you, make me a good human being. And that is called education. So unfortunately, we don't do that. We should be aiming at making a healthy mind. And the other important part of healthy mind is an enthusiasm to be compassionate. See, if all of us are compassionate, where there is a problem in the society? No conflict, no fights, no terrorism, none of those things will be there. And we don't even need an army. Today, every country spends so much money on its army because without the army, the country will be wiped off. So all that is because we don't have compassion. And two things that a healthy mind should have is enthusiasm to work and enthusiasm to be compassionate. And that is the aim of life should be. Actually, they were trying to find out what is life, what is health, etc., etc. And you must have heard about risk factors, high blood pressure, fat, cholesterol, and sugar and all. None of those things matter. In a long study of 75 years observation of the Harvard alumni of the 1930s, the sophomores of the 1930s, till to date, they found a lot of them have died. It's 90 years now. Few of them are. But what came out of the study was very important thing which India knew for thousands of years ago in Ayurveda. Aptopasevi bhavet arogyam. If you love everyone in this world, you will be healthy and living long. And that's what Ayurveda says. Aptopasevi bhavet arogyam. And that's exactly what this study showed. Study showed three things. A, drinking alcohol is your enemy number one. 2, smoking cigarette is your enemy 2. And what is your friend? Compassion. Love everyone. And the more number of friends you have, more number of people you like, more number of family members you like, and more number of people in the society you like and want to be compassionate, you will live long and healthy life. That's exactly what Ayurveda has been saying for 5,000 years. Aptopasevi bhavet arogyam. So friends, just develop a mind with compassion, develop a mind with enthusiasm to work, and working is very important because that's another very important feature for good health. Samikshakari says Ayurveda. Samikshakaris work very hard. I have not seen anybody dying of hard work. Though of course people say don't work very hard, you get tired and things like that. Your own parents will say get tired and things like that. As a matter of fact, the whole science of stress started with a young boy in Canada. He was about 17 years old. He wanted to read the whole day and night. So his old grandmother said, don't read too much, you will become mad. So this boy said, I love to read, and why is my grandmother saying that? So he said, what is stress? So he started in 1936, he wrote a letter to the scientists in America, what is stress? And he didn't get a reply. By 1956, he produced a huge data on stress, and he wrote an encyclopedia of stress called, his name was Hans Selye. You have the book called Encyclopedia of Stress by Hans Selye. Don't read that, it's too much for you. But read a smaller book he has written for you, Stress and Distress. Stress is an integral part of life. If you don't have stress, you would wither away and die in no time. Supposing you say, I don't want any stress, I want to sit in the Himalayas and meditate, you will not be there after 1 week. Stress is a must. Stress is a part of life. But distress is bad. Distress is bending abnormally against stress. This is what most of us do. You know, you get a headache in the evening. A lot of people say they get a headache in the evening. Do you know why? They are so tense when they're whole day. And when you are very tense in the day, your neck muscles tense up. And when the neck muscles tense up, your huge muscle that starts in the forehead goes to the neck. It's called occipitofrontalis muscle. That becomes tense. So you get headache in the evening. So if somebody comes and tells me, I have a headache, I tell them, no, you don't have a headache, you are a headache. So people say, I have a neck pain. No, I say, no, you are a pain in the neck. And if you are a pain in the neck, you have a headache, you have a neck pain. So if you are not a pain in the neck, nothing will happen. So what is the end of the day? You must be a very good human being. If you are a good human being, you are a good educated person. How to be a good human being? A, you must work very hard. B, you must love everyone in this world. Love is not, now younger generation should not take the word love for lust, that is a usual meaning. No. Love is compassion, C-O-M-P-A-S-S-I-O-N. You just universal compassion, you like everything. Sarva Bhuta Priti in Sanskrit. Sarva Bhuta, all life you love. So it's not just only man, animals, everyone you love. And if you did that, you will have no tension, you will not have headache, you will not have neck ache, and you will be a human being. And that should be the aim of education. Are we trying to do that? I don't think so. We are trying only to have a career for you. You must have a career at the end of the day. You must be a BA and get a teacher's job. You must be a B.Ed and get a teaching job. You must be a doctor and do what doctors do now. They shouldn't be doing what they are doing now.